Hey everyone, my name is Eduardo Martinez, and I am the author of the new children's book, Joe E. King and the Fragile Figurine. In today's episode of Conversations with Joe E. King, today we're tackling something every parent and every kid deals with at some point. That weird tension when the relationship changes. When suddenly it feels like you're no longer connecting the way you used to. And yes, Joe and his dad are about to help unpack all of that. At home, though, Joe often felt the light was missing. His father was always busy with work. As a custodian, his father spent most of his time working the late shift well into the evening. Whenever Joe tried to talk about his day or ask for help with his feelings, his dad would brush him off. "Not now, Joe. I have to go to work," he'd say. Joe felt like he didn't have anyone to share his thoughts with, except his figurine. In Joe E. King and the Fragile Figurine, Joe tries twice to talk to his dad. Once before the figurine breaks, and again afterward when his heart is basically in pieces. Both times, Dad hits him with the classic line, "Not now, Joe, I'm busy." For Joe, those moments are signals. They tell him, "I don't matter right now." And for a sensitive kid, that lands heavy. As the story continues, we see the breakdown yet again of Joe and his father's relationship. That evening, Joe went home with the shattered remains of his figurine. He approached his father, hoping for comfort. "Dad," Joe said softly, holding up the pieces, "something happened today." His dad barely looked up from his newspaper. "Not now, Joe, I'm busy. We'll talk later, okay?" he muttered. Joe's chest tightened. He shuffled back to his room, holding the shards of glass. He wanted to cry, but he didn't know how to make sense of his feelings. Most parents don't intend to create distance. They're juggling work, bills, mental overload, identity, survival, and they think they'll all connect later. But kids don't live in later. Kids live in the now. Their emotional world is immediate and intense. So when a parent brushes them off, even for practical reasons, the child interprets that moment emotionally, not logically. And because kids don't know how to name it, it comes out as withdrawal, irritability, shutting down, anxiety, or clinging. Notice the bids for connection. A child approaching with a story, a drawing, a feeling, a broken figurine, that's a child saying, "I need you right now." Pause, even for 30 seconds. Put the phone down, turn the laptop away. A moment like that tells the child, "You matter more than this screen." Parents don't need perfection, just presence. Something simple like, "I'm sorry I missed you early, tell me what happened." Bedtime chats, car ride check-ins, tell me one good thing or one hard thing. These rituals are anchors. They guarantee connection. Kids also have power in relationship. Joe tried twice. Sometimes adults need a second doorway. A teacher, a counselor, aunt, grandma, someone who listens. Miss Woods modeled this beautifully. Kids, they don't need therapy words. Just honestly, "Dad, I really want to show you something important," or "I feel sad when it seems like you're busy." Understand this truth. Parents are not superheroes. They're humans learning in real time. When Joe brings home the mosaic, his new creation built from the broken pieces, his dad finally pauses. He listens. He apologizes. And that changes everything. Relationships don't need to be perfect. They need repair. When parents come back with softness and when kids risk opening up again, the distance closes. The light comes back. Just like Joe's mosaic, something beautiful is created from what felt broken. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the third episode of Conversations with Joe E. King. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with someone raising a beautifully sensitive kid. And remember, even when life cracks a little, there's always a way to rebuild connection and color. See you next time